So max connection by defaultly allowed by application as per the agreement of the application. If we are purchasing any application license application, they have a user limitations to connect with the database like Oracle, DB2, MS SQL or Postgres. License is EDB Postgres. So that company have an agreement. If you are purchasing an enterprise edition, we can login limit that is 1,000 or 10,000 at limitations of that company. But in that open source, we have no limit. We can use as per our resource like memory and CPU. So by default, the max connection provided by the Postgres open source is 100, and if we have a number of connections is increasing as per our application, enterprise application, we need to modify this figure as per the requirement, because we get the user termination error, user killed or not able to log into the database due to the number of connections exceeded. These are the type of error you get. So to avoid this type of error, we need to modify this max connection. I think hope you understand about that max connection. Anyone please? So what is the role of super user? Yeah, super user is that the super user, that is means that the end user is performing any activity. Super user can monitor all the activities of the end user. Means that we can say that just hold on. Yes. हाँ जी बताइए. Sorry. So super user is just we can say that Postgres is a super user for this application. Every application have a super user. Like Windows, root is a super user. In Microsoft SQL Server, we can say SA, system admin. In Windows, administrator. So that is a super user that can perform each and every activity on that application. You can say the owner of that application simply. Hope you understand. Okay. Next. I have already shared about this the calculation of this memory. So I will share that. I have created a document for that. The sample document. Okay. Next is I'm not touching the replication part because you are a developer, so you do not have a right to work on the replication side. So I'm not touching this point. Here is for you, that is query tuning part. So being a DBA developer, we should have a knowledge about the query flow, and the query parameters and the variables. So on basis of this query plan, create a plan and send to the database engine to fetch the data or to write or read the data from the database engine. So here is some scan type in Postgres that used by the planner, and how planner is going to perform his an activity. That is for bitmap. You know that bitmap scan for that there is an index that is for we have a JPG file and other things. So that is scan. Hash indexes indicate that there are not any indexes on a database, so we get a hash index. A scan index, that is go for sticking that we can say that if the table have an index, that will use that. We have forced that to use database engine to use only index scan, and we force the planner to create a plan for the query according to that index. So index, we have already discussed about that in previous session, like btree, brain, JST. So that will use that and create a plan for us. So while we checking that execution plan of the database application, database query, that will planner can come to his this feature and plan accordingly and show us the output of the query flow, how the query is performing, and what is the IO system utilized, and it will drive the query. This is for merge line. While we write a query, you can see that how merge line is work. Nested loop, sequential scan. This is a bad practice for database. If any query goes for sequential scan, means that it is not using proper index or the table has missing indexes. So we have to keep in mind that any not a single query go for a sequential scan. This is for sorting while we order by use. So based on this, planner create a query plan and send us to database engine, and then the database engine takes the data from the disk or the memory and give output to us. Next is effective cache size. We have already discussed in last session what is effective cache size. This is only for caching the data. If we have a terabyte of data and we are not enabled caching of data, this is a bad practice. So we should keep in mind that how much data we are going to fetch from the table. So according to that, we have to pass here the size of the caching. And the rule is that maximum 70% of the total free memory. Not total memory, only for the total free memory. If we have a 16 GB of memory and we have allocated 6 GB of memory to all the rdbms, so we have only 10 GB of memory, and on that basis of we have to allocate here effective cache size, that is 7 GB max. So that is the rule. This is a part of logs and logins where we keep the logs. So the default log file of course is pg log. We have to we can check in that our system, that is where the pg log is inside, we will see that. So in this log, every application have a log file. We write a log file for monitoring and debugging the issues. So do not avoid this file, because while writing we have to keep all the errors and the sessions which are going on the database or application. It is logged in the log file. So every application have a log file. That is, in Windows we have an event log file, event manager. In Linux that is syslog, I think, or in pg log. Oracle have a different type of log, multiple log, that is redo log, undo log, transitional log, that is different. In SQL Server there was transitional log, and SQL Server log, agent log. So there is every application keeping their logs, that is perform any each and every activity by the end user and the sysadmin, that is recorded and exited in the file. That is a text file, that is for our trash files. These are the extensions. So this is the naming convention of the pg log file. We can use as a date format, day format, or hourly basis. So this is rotation page is on, and the age of the log is 1 day. So every day we create a new log. This is Monday, Tuesday, and weekly basis here. Here is a prefixes. While we use here, what are the things we are going to write in that log file. So these are the parameters we can set here, and we can write that all these things in pg log file. So log a statement for DDL file, that is data definition language. You can say that is manipulation, alter, delete, all these things is log. The default time zone is US Central. We can change as per the requirement. Every system have a default, so it is running on default system. So now we have captured the pg config file. Any question on pgconfig file? So moving forward to that postgresql file, that is host-based authentication. So I am getting out from this page, and the same path we have that pg_hda. So that is host-based authentication. It contains all the authentication level of that user and database level. So it allows us to connect with that database application. So it is allowed for local, all users, and that is trusted. Sorry, I've already told about it. Trusted means that it is not asking anything. It is not that is not asking password to us, because it is trusted, and the user which has permission to log in into the local host, that will defaultly log into the database. So for security point of view, you can make MD5 and tier. Sorry. So any question on pgconfig file? Sorry, pghda file?
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Sorry?
Sir, if we want to change that all options to private or only me, how we can change it?
Just we have to pass here the username, and we can assign the authentication, that is MD5. While you are going to log into the database, you have to pass your own username and password. So that is depend on the environment. In Carison, they are different. Here everyone is going to log in with the Carison user. So that's why this is security violence, but this is our environment, so we are simple, we are running on open. That is totally open. Every user is using only a single user, that is Carison. But in other rdbms, we create a domain account, and they have I will assign, or the DBA can assign as per requirement. That is permission allow them to as per requirement. If you are a developer, we allow just you have to create a table and select a statement. We do not allow you to update any table or alter any table without any permission. We have multiple process, that is ITIL, we can say that, or Prince2, there is the documentation or databases or any application. So this, the MNC's company follow that process. But here is simply we don't have any process on databases. So this is totally open for all users. So every end user performing each and every activities. That's why this session is providing, without knowing any impact of that change, do not change anything in that config files in databases. So that's why we are trying to reduce that number of bugs in our bucket. Because we cannot track who is changing and what is made change in the database side or application side. So that is untrackable. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So this we have search here two things, that is postgresql file and postgresql file. So next part is that how we connect with the client tool. So we are going to see, the default client tool is PSQL. This is the default client tool, and see, because this is not a member of that database. Oh, it is connected. Wow, it's totally enabled. This is totally wrong, because root is not enabled, not provided to work on database server. So this is the client tool, the PSQL, the version name, and the server ID version. So you can see that. And for knowing about that, the PGSQL or PSQL or Postgres, for help, you can take a help and see all the keywords and terminologies that's provided by the Postgres. So we see here some different type of TSQL or command that is daily use for DBA and developer. Just to we have to think or know about that the database object, that is first is database. So can anyone let me know what is database? Do you have any idea what is database? Okay. So in simple way we can
The database means to storing the all data.
Sir, database is a collection of data.
Okay. Next.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it's a container where data is stored.
Okay. Next one. Next.
So the collection of any data in an organized way.
Good. Next. Any data we can store, or we are doing garbage collection? You can see simply a database is a container which keep a data in organized and also keep a meaningful data. You cannot keep a garbage in a database. We are not going to work on a warehousing. So we are not going to do a database mining on that database. The OLTP database is a meaningful data that is organized and is normalized also. So that is normalized, organized and meaningful data container. So database have multiple database objects like table, view, trigger, function. Procedure. So these are things we will discuss later, but we are just going there. The syntax is that create database or the database name. That is, we can say here create database name SQL mode. So if we are going to create table, we have to write create table name XYZ, employee, address, these are things. So after writing this syntax, we have to hit enter. See, root user do not have permission to create a database on Postgres server. Okay. So just these are error and we are going to troubleshoot it. Just we get out from this session and we are writing PSQL Postgres provision user. Okay. So the syntax is that the client name, the database name and the username. And we can also C means command and command should be in single inverted comma. We can create database name SQL no and semicolon. Basically semicolon is a terminator we can say, or delimiter we can say that for any statement. Between the statement we can use. So we can hit here enter. So see, Provision will do not have permission to create a database. So this is a part of security. So as per permission, user can perform their activities. Now we are using here super user. See, database created. So here is difference between user and super user. super user can perform each and every activity on any rdbms server, but user can perform as per the mapping of the objects and the permissions. So we have created that SQL Mon database. So we are going to try to connect with that client tool. That is database name is SQL Mon, and we are trying to with revision user. So revision has permission to connect with the databases, but it cannot be create any database by their own. So we have created a database safely, and this is a command line. So please note it down. And this is the connection to the database server via CLI. Now, next part is how can we see what are the tables inside that databases. As we know, this is a fresh database and it has not any tables, any database objects. But I will try to see that. So see that there is no relation. Means that there is no any user defined tables in that database. Now we are going to create a table. Create a table. Yeah.
So can you please zoom?
Oh, zoom. Oh, just hold a minute. I think it will allow us zoom or not. I think check that. I think we have to increase the font size of it. Okay, I change the font size here. I think we are not getting that option to zoom here. I am not getting that option here to zoom it. I will share you that video of this. You can see that in that video as well. You can just write a command. I think it will be helpful for you. Because we are not getting this Font size here.
Sir, maybe we apply control plus.
The control shift plus.
Just hold a minute. No, it is not getting that command, I think. Okay. Just hold a minute. I asked some. Okay. I think it is not getting the command. I think something wrong here. It is not getting that. It is not getting that thing. These are the commands for that. Okay. You can change the font size as well. I think that is the option.
Sir, you can continue with it.
Sorry?
No?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, you can continue.
Okay. I think something wrong here. Okay. So just we have created that database and now we are creating a table. So that is the command for table creation, that is create table name, that is we can say mon, and we have to pass that the column name and data type. So I would like to say here that just Google about the default data type in that Postgres and other rdbms, that is int, varchar, char, date time. These are the data type in that rdbms. So just Google it and see the comparison between all the data types, because the database performance depends on the data type also, because that is requiring a space and memory, and that is while we are getting fetch that is data, so that is hamper the production and environment as well. So here we are going to create a table name mon, and in single quote we can write a column name, that is server ID int server name tab. I'm limiting that the server name is 10 character only. I'm going to close this session. So table is created here, and just we can take that the structure of that table is /dt plus and the table name. So we get the structure of that table. So here is the schema name. The schema is just a virtual. We can say the virtual structure of that database. Name, that is the database object name. Type is equal to the table. Owner is revision who has created that table, and the size in byte, that is 0. So we have just created that table. So it is not acquired any space because it has no data. So here is a question. What is table? Can anyone answer this question? What is table?
Sir, table is a collection of rows and columns.
Okay. Anyone? Yeah, a simple definition of table is a container like, yeah, please.
Function.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that the table is a collection of related data.
Okay. Next. So table is a collection of rows and columns, and it will keep a related data to that database name. So while creating a table, think about the name, that is naming convention. What the data you are going to keep there, and the data table name is same as the data is inserted in the database or table. So I have written that mon means that monitoring. So monitoring of database. So database servers, database server IPs, addresses, these are things of column name. So based on column name, we have to define that or assign that the data type also, because data type is wrongly assigned to the table or column, that will degrade the performance of the database. So that is known as a cardinality. So that is a different thing, that is the performance tuning part. So basically think about that the data type only and the table name while writing or creating a table. So we have seen here that is how to create a database and how to create a table. Yeah.
Sir,
I am not getting it properly. What are you saying?
Sir, screen Sir, your screen is hanged. You're not able to see anything.
Just hold a minute. Right now? Good?
No, sir.
Till create table only we can see that.
Yes, sir. Now it's all right.
So I am not writing anything here. Okay. So basically, just we are going to summarize the session, because I think it is about 12 o'clock. So we have seen today that is the default path of Postgres config file and the HBA file, and the components reside in that file. So I would like to say here one thing: please do not change anything in both files, because this is not your job. If you are getting any issues, if you are getting any problem, just let me know, just inform your TL or manager. Because many bugs come to us by changing this file. Because if you are changing this file, system will go down and it will not come up. So that is a problem. So before going to change anything, please let me know or let your manager know what you are going to change and what are the impact of that changes. Okay? And second thing, we have created a table and a database. So please do a practice on that, how to create table, how to create functions, how to create a views. Same, we have a right, just create object name, object and object name, and then parameters which we have to define. That is for column name, we have to define a table or join, these are the things. So I will share some JPG files in that group, so that will help you. So do practice on that, and let me know if you have any question, and please do not change anything on database side. If you see anything in Postgres, don't touch the Postgres directories and files, because you have to develop application on Java, Angular, whatever the tool you are using. So that is, database is not your right to change anything. If you are think that is a positive way, you have to write an email or let your manager know if you have to change these parameters. Okay? So before ending this session,